Here are today's top stories. President Duterte attends his first commemoration of the Philippine Independence Day. Fishermen at Scarborough Shoal appeal to the government to limit the Chinese Coast Guards from taking their catch. The LTFRB is now authorized to set and regulate the operations of transport network companies. And the PNP is set to form a task force to investigate the murder of a priest in Nueva Ecija. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Philippines celebrates today its 120th Independence Day, with President Rodrigo Duterte and other top officials leading ceremonies around the country. The president calls on Filipinos to be inspired by the country's heroes and defend democracy. More on this from Janice Cave.
President Rodrigo Duterte led today's commemoration of the 120th Philippine Independence Day in Kawit, Cavite. The president was the guest of honor in the flag-raising ceremony held at Aguinaldo Shrine. In his Independence Day message, Duterte called on Filipinos to defend democracy and remember the sacrifices of the country's national heroes. He urged everyone to seek inspiration from their forefathers to effect meaningful and lasting change. This is Duterte's first Independence Day rites, as he missed the commemoration at the Rizal Park last year. Meanwhile, the PNP commemorated Independence Day with a simultaneous flag raising in all police camps. PNP Deputy Director General Ramon Apolinario led the ceremony in Camp Crame, which was followed by the symbolic releasing of doves. Apolinario urged the police to show their patriotism by serving the public and avoiding and preventing corruption in their ranks. A multi-sectoral civic-military parade was also held at the Carino Grandstand and Rizal Park, where Vice President Leni Robredo is the guest of honor. Other activities for the day were the wreath laying at the Pinaglabanan Shrine in San Juan City, the commemoration at the Bonifacio Monument in Caloocan, Musikalayaan concert, job fairs by the Department of Labor and Employment, and other government programs. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Filipino fishermen in the disputed Panatag or Scarborough Shoal appealed to the government to limit the Chinese Coast Guards from taking their catch. The three fishermen, identified as Romel Sihuela, Delfin Igana, and Jury Drio, were present at a palace briefing. Their plight came to light through a documentary where Chinese Coast Guards appeared to forcibly take some of their catch from Panatag Shoal in exchange for basic goods. Despite what had happened, the three believe they are not being harassed by the Coast Guard. They also asked the Chinese not to take too much of their catch. Foreign Affairs Secretary Alan Peter Cayetano has assured that Undersecretary Ernesto Abella has already raised the issue of the Chinese Coast Guard with Ambassador Zhao Jianhua. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says that the government will ask China to take disciplinary action against their Coast Guards who force Filipino fishermen to sell them their catch. Several senators expressed their sympathy to the family of former National Secretary Advisor Rogelio Roylo Goles. The former lawmaker died due to cardiac arrest on Monday at age 71. Goles' death was confirmed by his son, Parañaque City Vice Mayor Jose Enrico Goles. Senator Sonny Angara and Joseph Victor Ejercito expressed their condolences via Twitter. Meanwhile, Senator Francis Pangilinan, Liberal Party president, said that they were overwhelmed with sadness and shock with the news of Goles' death. Pangilinan hailed Goles as a true freedom fighter for defending the country's territorial rights. Goles was a graduate of the United States Naval Academy. He was a former Navy officer before serving as Postmaster General under the Marcos administration from 1981 to 1986. He was then elected Congressman of Parañaque City from 1992 to 2001 and from 2004 to 2007. Goles served as the National Security Advisor under the Arroyo administration from 2001 to 2004. The military remains in high morale, dismissing rumors of their disappointment over the government's handling of the West Philippine Sea issue. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana says government troops are not demoralized and that they are doing their best to perform their mandate. Lorenzana earlier dismissed reports made by Magdalo Party List Representative Gary Alejano claiming that President Rodrigo Duterte ordered the military to stop its patrol in the West Philippine Sea. The DND chief added that the president never even made a hint on the matter. Lorenzana maintains that it is the AFP's mandate to protect the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Malacanang lauds the increase in revenue collections of 3 government agencies, namely the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR, Bureau of Customs or BOC, and the Bureau of Treasury for the period of January to May. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the BIR collected 827.9 billion pesos, while Customs collected 229 billion pesos as of the end of May. Finally, the Bureau of Treasury collected 56.58 billion pesos. Roque said these collections will be used to finance the Duterte administration's Build infrastructure program. Meanwhile, Roque also hailed the rise in revenues collected from electronic exports to Japan, the United States, Hong Kong, China, and Singapore. Roque noted a 5.4% growth in the country's electronic exports for the first 3 months of the year. Roque also welcomed the technological readiness ranking published by the Economist Intelligence Unit, which showed that the Philippines ranked 55th spot out of 82 economies in being tech-ready. Still to come, the LTFRB is now authorized to set and regulate the operations of transport network companies. A cease and desist order against mining activities is set to be implemented in Mount Diwalwal Mineral Conservation Area. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente.
May 31, Huwebes, Pagbilao, Quezon. Dumalo si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa inaugurasyon ng bagong gawang Pagbilao Power Plant na magdadala ng maraming trabaho at business opportunities sa mga taga Quezon Province. June 3, Linggo, NAIA Terminal 2, Pasay City. Lumipad si Pangulong Duterte at kanyang delegasyon pa South Korea para sa 3-day official visit doon. Sa Grand Hilton Hotel Convention Center, nakipagkita siya sa mga sabik na overseas Filipino workers.
So I'd like to thank the Korean government, South Korea, for hosting so many Filipinos here. Keeping them safe.
Pinuntahan din niya ang mga Pinoy na hindi nakapasok sa convention center. June 4, Lunes, Seoul, South Korea. Nagbigay pugay ang Pangulo sa mga sundalong Pilipino at South Korean na nagbuwis ng buhay noong Korean War. Inumpisan din ang bilateral meeting ng dalawang bansa sa pangunguna ni Pangulong Duterte at South Korean President Moon Jae-in. 5 kasunduan ang nilagdaan para lalong magpatibay sa relasyon ng Pilipinas at South Korea. Kinagabihan ay nagsalo-salo sila.
To the long-standing friendship and more comprehensive partnership between the Philippines and the Republic of Korea. Mabuhay to your success.
June 5, Martes, Seoul, South Korea. Sa huling araw ng official visit ng Chief Executive ay inilunsad niya ang pinakaunang Philippine Food Festival na tampok ang mga produktong Pinoy. NAIA Terminal 2, Pasay City. Sa pag-uwi ng Pangulo ay masayang ibinalita ang matagumpay niyang pagbisita sa South Korea. Nasa $4.8 billion worth of investments mula sa SOCOR ang lilikha ng 20,000 trabaho para sa mga Pilipino.
My official visit to Seoul was meaningful and productive. We are now writing a new chapter of cooperation in the shared history between the Philippines and South Korea. Indeed, the Republic of Korea is a true friend of the Philippines. And President Moon, an even closer ally.
Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar at ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
The LTFRB is now authorized to regulate the fares and other operations of transport network companies and vehicle services such as Grab. More on this from Miguel Hill.
The Department of Transportation has released an order granting authority to the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board to regulate the operations of transportation network companies and transportation network vehicle services units nationwide. The order, signed by Transport Chief Arthur Tugade, will allow the LTFRB to determine the fare, rates, and other charges of TNCs after undergoing public hearings and consultations to ensure that they're just and reasonable. This aims to ensure that TNCs and TNVS will comply with policies, laws, and regulations as the DOTR recognizes their role in providing transport services to the public. Undersecretary Tim Orbo says the order will uphold the safety and protection of the riding public. Meanwhile, ride-sharing company Grab said it will comply with the order of the DOTR and assures commitment to provide safer and reliable transportation services. The new order will supersede Department Order Number 2015-011, which allows TNCs to set their own fares and rates. The 2015 order has been cited by Grab as legal basis for imposing rates such as a 2 peso per minute travel charge and the 80 to 125 peso minimum base fares. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
Representatives of companies from the city of Angers known as Francis Electronics and Internet Hub are coming to explore opportunities in the Philippine market. Angers French Tech is setting up a French pavilion in the 16th Annual Philippine Semiconductor and Electronics Convention and Exhibition to be held next year. This immediately after Semiconductor and Electronics Industries of the Philippines President Dan Lachica and AFT Director Corinne Buson Bunhamu inked a Memorandum of Understanding formalizing AFT's participation in the coming event. Buson Benhamu said it will be the first time for Angers-based companies to come to the country and take part in an event like the PSECE exhibition. For his part, Lachica said that there are huge opportunities for players in the local electronics sector to partner with firms from France's Electronic Valley. Philippine exports to France last year reached $791 million. The landing of a military transport plane from China for refueling in Davao is a normal occurrence and should not be given any deep meaning. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana stresses that military planes are allowed to refuel in other countries, adding that the Philippine Air Force does the same. Lorenzana says the Chinese aircraft obtained permission to land from the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, or CAAP. He, however, admitted that he learned about the Chinese plane only after its arrival. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque earlier mentioned that the plane was en route to China from Australia when it needed refueling. Classes were suspended in 4 towns in Maguindanao affected by ongoing military operations against the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters. DepEd ARMM Secretary Rasol Mitmog identified the affected towns as Datu Montawal, Pangalungan, General Salipada K, Pendatun, and Raja Buayan. At least 1,400 pupils and over 600 teachers joined some 10,000 others in evacuating to safer grounds following a sundry attack by military forces against BIFF elements. The military targeted a bomb-making factory in Liguasan Marsh, bordering on the towns of Pagalungan and General Salipada K. Pendatun. So far, 15 BIFF members have been confirmed killed, while a top bomb maker and his wife were arrested. The Philippine Mining Development Corporation is set to enforce a cease and desist order against ball mill and carbon and pulp operators in the Diwalwal Mineral Conservation Area. The cease and desist order to take effect in the Diwalwal Mountain Range in Moncayo, Compostela Valley was issued back in July 2017. PMDC President Attorney Alberto Sipaco Jr. says they have issued a final notice for operators to move to the Mabatas Mineral Processing Area. 210 out of 233 registered small-scale mining operators have agreed to move to Mabatas. Meanwhile, they will start demolishing the facilities of those who will insist on staying in the reservation area. The relocation of mining operations aims to give way to rehabilitation of the Diwalwal mining site, which caused destruction of the Nabok River waterways and nearby farmlands due to mercury poisoning. The PMDC is tasked to monitor and oversee mineral and mining operations in the reservation area. Up next, the PNP is set to form a task force to investigate murder of a priest in Nueva Ecija. An old duha tree becomes the centerpiece of the Independence Day celebration in Novaliches, Quezon City. Find out why when we return. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Over 65,000 square meters ang land area ng Mactan International Airport Terminal 2. Itong bagong terminal na ito, sabi nga nila, the best airport in the world by far. Kung bakit, panoorin niyo po ang Cabinet Report. Congratulations, Andrew.
Thank you.
This is such a huge terminal.
Thank you.
Tell us more about the airport. What are the special or the unique features of this terminal?
So 15-meter height. It's made of glued laminated wood, which is white alpine spruce from Austria. Why did we choose wood? Because wood manufacturing is synonymous with Cebu. If you go back in time, even the galleons were constructed using wood right here in Cebu. And furniture making is big business here in Cebu. And so we felt that the terminal should reflect the culture of the Cebuano people. So the check-in counters, what we did, the first thing we did, again, going back to the resort theme, is we lowered the height of the counter. So more of the upper body of the check-in agent is visible to you, because it's a much better experience in terms of interacting with them. This is a real live plant.
Real moss.
Yes, it's real moss. It's imported from the hills in Italy. And essentially it needs no maintenance, no moisture, no watering. And it does two things. It takes out acidity in the atmosphere, and it also takes out odors. This is another first in the Philippines. This technology is known as automated tray retrieval system. So essentially what happens is there's an automatic conveyor that brings the trays below. So you take your tray and you simply push your tray into the conveyor, and the conveyor will take it up automatically. You don't have to touch the tray. So this is duty-free. We created a walk-through duty-free because Duty-Free Philippines is it's a government company, of course. It's under the Department of Tourism. And for the success of a duty-free, it's about impulse purchase. Put the product there, right display, right price, the passenger's in the right mood, because there's a direct correlation between inefficient processing and low propensity to spend.
So this is a pleasant surprise. There's actually a spa in the airport.
Yeah, and then we have a prayer room. And we have, it's a non-denominational prayer room and smoking room also here. Yeah.
I've been meaning to ask, how many passengers are we expecting to arrive in this airport, or what is the possible number of passengers that we can accommodate on a yearly basis?
The existing terminal is designed for 4.5. We're handling 10.3. And when we took over, there were only 1.5 million international per year. Now it's 3.2 million. We doubled the international.
Do you mind congratulating the Filipinos who are watching?
Absolutely. Yes, I'd like to say a big congratulations to the Filipino people who gave us the opportunity to take this responsibility of delivering something world-class, to showcase the best that the Philippines has to offer. And we're privileged to be a part of that story.
And from the SSP?
Yeah. To the Filipino people, this is something I think you all should feel very, very proud of. At SSP, we're very, very proud to be a part of this development, this airport that for us is one of the best airports in Southeast Asia, and we're very happy to partner with GMR and Megawide to deliver the best F&B experience to Filipinos. So congratulations.
I'll just keep it short and sweet. Congratulations to all the Filipinos in Scotland, but without a doubt it's the best airport I've been to throughout the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I am proud to join the people of Cebu in inaugurating this newly built Terminal 2 of Mactan International Airport. It is exciting to see that we have come this far in letting our kababayans and visitors see and experience the results of our promise of real and lasting change. As one of the finest airports in Asia, this facility will showcase the best of what the Philippines has to offer.
The Philippine National Police, led by the Police Regional Office 3, is set to form a task force to solve the murder of Father Richmond Nilo. Father Nilo was shot dead inside a church in Zaragoza, Nueva Ecija, while saying Mass last Sunday. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde assures that the police will do everything to catch the suspect. Albayalde meanwhile clarifies that Father Nilo's case was an isolated incident despite its disturbing insistence of happenings in a church. He says the last 3 incidents involving murdered priests does not reflect what is happening elsewhere in the country. Last April, Father Mark Ventura was shot dead while saying Mass in a gymnasium in Gataran, Cagayan Province. In December 4 last year, Father Marcelito Paez was also shot in Jaén, Nueva Ecija. Davao City commemorated the 120th Independence Day with a star-studded program and activities by the government. Mayor Inday Sara Duterte Carpio led the flag-raising ceremony this morning, followed by a wreath-laying ceremony in front of the City Hall. Major General Noel Clement, commander of the 10th Infantry Division, Philippine Army, gave a speech urging Filipinos to maintain freedom by paying taxes, taking care of nature, and effecting change. Meanwhile, international singer Apple the App and Jessica Reynoso sang in a program attended by local officials at Rizal Park. Other activities include a business fair by the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, which offers thousands of local and overseas jobs. Gilas Pilipinas has ended its bid for the FIBA 3x3 World Cup quarterfinals. Canada knocked off Gilas 2019 out of playoff contention in the penultimate day of the FIBA 3x3 World Cup at the Philippine Arena on Monday. The Canadians survived a late rally by Gilas, anchored by an explosion from RR Pogoy, which Michael Linkwater scoring the game-winning layup with a 4.2 second left for Canada. Gilas then vented its ire by blasting Russia 19-12 a little more than an hour after losing to Canada. Gilas exited the competition at 3rd place in Pool C with 2 wins and 2 losses, while Russia settled for 4th place. Residents in Novaliches, Quezon City commemorated Independence Day today under an old tree that serves as an important living landmark in Philippine history. Here is our report.
A 180-year-old duhat or plum tree in Novaliches, Quezon City stood as a silent witness to a memorial celebration of the Declaration of Philippine Independence 120 years ago today. The commemorative rites were held under the joint auspices of the Knights of Columbus, St. Maximilian Maria Colbe Assembly ACN 2993, Knights of Columbus Novaliches District Assembly ACN 2360, and the Metro Manila College. The rites included a flag-raising ceremony, wreath-laying, and historical recollections. In 1980, the then National Historical Institute, now the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, the Tree Preservation Foundation of the Philippines Incorporated, and the Metro Manila College named the almost 2-century-old plum tree the Katipunan Tree. This was in memory of the Historical Revolutionary Society called KKK, or Kataas-taasang Kagalang-galang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. At that time, Metro Manila College founder and president Dr. Mamerto Miranda said Filipino revolutionary heroine Melchora Aquino, also known as Tandang Sora, treated the sick and wounded Katipuneros under the shade of this plum tree in the early days of the 1896 revolution. The plum tree was also a silent witness to Tandag Sora's arrest by the Spaniards prior to her exile to Guam in 1896. The plum tree is about 2 kilometers away from what is now called the La Mesa Dam and the old Barrio Pasong Putik in Novaliches. Despite its old age, the plum tree now continues to bear fruits, though smaller and not as succulent and juicy as before. Its shade and height have also gone shorter as it has shed its old branches and twigs through the years. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories. President Duterte attends his first commemoration of the Philippine Independence Day. Fishermen at Scarborough Shoal appeal to the government to limit the Chinese Coast Guards from taking their catch. The LTFRB is now authorized to set and regulate the operations of transport network companies. And the PNP is set to form a task force to investigate the murder of a priest in Nueva Ecija. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and website. The newsroom would like to greet everybody a very happy Independence Day. And from all of us at the PNA, we greet Miss Pia Roses Morato a very happy birthday. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I'm William Theo. Good day.